Hello. Right, let's see if this will work for a few minutes. I'm using that NVIDIA overlay thing to do this. A few days ago when I was tempting to try and do anything like this, it would crash it after about 10 minutes, so I just gave up. I just more so wanted just to last for a few minutes just while I talk about Borderlands 4. I don't want to go and do too much because spoil story-wise where I am. It's more so thoughts on actual gameplay and other such things. I'm guessing I'm about a third of the way into the game. Normally when I play through the games the first time, I don't rush it. I tend to do some of the side quests and just other things really, just to see what the world's like and that. I don't tend to burn through it as quick as what you can do. I mean, you can literally just do the main quests and stuff and just get through it. But I tend to just go through bit by bit. The good points. If your machine will run it and the game won't crash, it looks great. It really does look nice. I've turned off the HDR just because I'm not sure how YouTube will take to it. But yeah, the game does look fantastic. Really, really nice. The engine is atrocious to run. I'm having to use DLSS quality. I mean, everything's maxed out, but I'm having to use DLSS quality, and it's also on frame gen ×3, and that gives me a steady 140 frames. Now, if I take off the cap, which I set to 140, it will go over that. It'll do something like 160, 170, but my TV's 144 Hz, so I'll cap it at that. Frame gen 4, there's too much. I noticed too much lag to it. It feels like you're on a kind of like walking on glass. It doesn't feel quite right. Story, it's definitely better than 3. It's a lot better than 3. 3 was a pain to play. The story was atrocious. Really didn't like it. So yeah, story wise it's better than 3, but it's not as good as 2. Memorable characters that you meet. Can't say about the bosses because obviously I'm only a third of the way through, but side quest kind of characters as such that you meet. Borderlands 2 is still by far the better one. They're all very memorable, those people. Most of the ones I've met in this one I've almost instantly forgot. The actual characters that you play, very, very good. I was contemplating doing it probably with either 1 or 2, but the gameplay and the gunplay as such is that good that I'm probably going to do it with all 4. So that's obviously a positive point. The bosses that I've fought so far have been interesting, been pretty good. They're going to obviously get bigger and better as you go along. Can't say like what the main story is going to end like, but it's already, it would need a miracle for it to beat 2. The writing and everything was just a lot better in 2. They nailed it. Music, it's good, it's all very serviceable. I don't think it's memorable. There's a lot of stuff in Borderlands 2 that was memorable. 3, nothing memorable. This one, it's good, but nothing really stands out. The weapons, this is something which is a problem I've found with all of the games. Probably more so with this one, I think, is that they give you too many of the rarities. By that, I mean the different colours. There's the green, well obviously there's the white, which is the bog standard. Then you got green, a little bit better, blue, a little bit better, and purple, and then obviously you got gold. I personally think that the blue drops should be reduced by 50%, and the purple drops should be reduced by 75%. There's that many that you have an inventory full of purple after a few levels, and you just end up just scrapping them, just get rid of them. They become more of a nuisance than anything because you just end up with so many. I don't remember it being as bad, maybe in 3. I don't remember it being as bad in the other ones, where you're just inundated with these rare items that you can't use them all, and it becomes a pain in the end because you're just picking them up and just throw. It's just like, I've got what I need. I've got no more space. I'm just looking for somewhere to sell them or something. Just, you're inundated. There's way too many. Way too many. It would be nicer if you were just more reliant, say, on greens, so when the blue does turn up, you're like, oh, great, a blue. And when a purple one turns up, like the kind of old Warcraft style, it was like, wow, that's an epic. It's rare to get one of these. It shouldn't be a case of just play it for another 10 minutes and you'll find another epic. Now, some of the guns that you will get even though they're epic, they're maybe just not suiting your playstyle, so you won't use them. But I do think that the rarer ones, the blues and the purples, should be really nerfed. You shouldn't be having to like run around and just be not concerned about picking them up because you've already got too many. So I think that should be reduced. AI, enemies and stuff like that, it's all pretty much the same. I don't think there's been a massive leap forward. Some of them are quite interesting, things that you have to take on. Some of them could be quite annoying. I mean, these are just regular grunts down here, but this being a cave, not here now, but there's like bat-like things that you'll come across earlier in the game, but there's a lot in here. They're quite annoying because of the way they move up and down and erratic. It can be quite hard to keep track of them. Apart from that, one of the things which I did mention in the last video, and it is a problem, and maybe a mod would fix it actually, and that's the leveling of these kind of random people that you meet outdoors. Just the grunt stuff, not the bosses, but like the grunt. When you get to a certain point, it seems to level either at your level, a couple levels above you, or maybe 2 or 3 below. Now, your level is fine and above is fine, but all the ones that end up being like 2 or 3 levels below you, when you're riding around, they become pointless to stop and fight, because it's kind of like probably the first experience I had of it is, if you can remember, if you go back far enough, Final Fantasy VII, the original, on the PlayStation, when you're playing that, when you got to a certain point where those encounters that you had were more annoying because you're way overpowered, there was just one-hit kills, and it was more time consuming than it was anything else. And it's kind of like that with these, and it's not just this game, it's on Witcher and everything else. When you get to a certain point, because they're not leveling up with you, they're just easy to kill. Now in here, because it's where the actual story is progressing, these are my level, but out in open world you will come across a load of stuff in certain areas that are below you, and then you just drive through them. It's pointless to stopping. There is some nice world kind of instances where you'll get like areas where like a kind of mini boss thing will appear. They're not particularly hard. They could probably do with being boosted a little bit. And again, when your weapons and stuff get increased, they have a certain set pattern to them, and they're normally not too bad about killing them as such. Some of the drops are okay. But yeah, I can't really go too much more into it because obviously I'm only a third of the way into the game. There could be improvements on the writing side, story side, characters that you meet, but I think for the world and the size of it is fantastic. The look of it is fantastic. Just the script, the story, and then the other things are more so like drop and leveling things with like tweaks. The item drop thing would be something which Gearbox would have to handle themselves if they were going to do that, but again, they tend to make games easier and dumber these days, so I can't see them reducing anything like drops of certain blues or purples. They might with some of the obviously the gold epic stuff, the legendary ones. Those obviously might get tweaked if people are farming them and stuff, but I can't see them do anything about the blues or the purples. As for the leveling, that might be something where it's picked up on Nexus mods. I know with The Witcher 3, when I was playing that, I did actually get some mods for that one, where everything around you would level with you, and it just made it a bit more interesting. So it wasn't a case of you just ploughed through everything. You had to think that everything around you was at least your level. It was more so that your skills or improvements in weapons and armour would help you dispatch them easier, rather than just them being obviously a lot of levels below you. So yeah, that's it. I mean, as I get to a bit more through the game, I'll report back. But like I say, I think I've put about 20 hours into it, and I'm only about a third of the way. So it is going to probably end up being somewhere on the 50-60 hour mark to finish it, which is probably over the amount of time that you're meant to put into it. But like I say, with the first playthrough, I tend to do all the side quests and try and meet the people and try and see things. More so that when I go through it, the next playthroughs, I just tend to do the levels, or the side quests and things like that I enjoyed. or if there's any I missed, I pick those up. With the other ones, my playthroughs tend to be, you know, like half the amount of time because I'm moving on to the next character, and that one probably gets even less still. And then at the end of that, I end up picking the one which I think is my favourite, and that'll be the one which then go on to do like the weekly stuff or the monthly stuff, where you go on to take on all the crazy bosses for all those kind of reward things that they've got planned. DLC wise, it'll be interesting to see what they bring out, but yeah, if you can get the game to run and it doesn't crash, although it has been patched twice I think now, and it has made improvements on both occasions, and I've not had an actual crash today, which is good. But yeah, if you can get the game to run and your machine's able to not have a heart attack while playing it, it is really, really nice. So it's like, yeah, it is basically Borderlands meets Destiny. That's how I describe it. It is good. Just wish there was a few things tweaked here and there, but yeah, see. Anyway, bye.